What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are well. Adrian, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. Smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Give the like button a smash. Adrian, I'm going to have a look at David Morrell and give my thoughts. I'm going to study him and then give you my thoughts. As you said, it's probably 2 years from now. He's still got a long way to go. Bernie Mac says Benavidez has a poor defense. So yeah, Adrian, I will definitely look into David Morrell. I just saw your comment. I'll definitely be looking into him. Benavidez has a poor defense. Benavidez has a very poor defense. Salute to Jose. Salute to Hector. I hope you guys are well. Joey says what they all say, laugh my Canelo is pound for pound. David, the one who will get hurt. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think Benavidez is fighting tonight. I think Benavidez is going to get the job done. I think Benavidez is going to win. I think Benavidez is going to stop Davis. I think Benavidez will get the stoppage. There's another good fight today against Rosado. There's Rosado and Munguia. That's a good fight as well. Munguia might be a future opponent for Canelo as well down the road, So, that could be a good fight later on. Munguia is a big guy as well. So I'm looking forward to how all of these guys' career unfolds. But yeah, get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in and smash the like button, guys. I really appreciate it. Smash the like button and get your questions in. I'd love to know your... Okay, Rob F says, all hail King Canelo. Yeah. What do you think, Rob? Do you think David Benavidez is a threat? Bro, what's going on? Ray, I hope you're well. What's going on? Ray, what do you make of Benavidez and Davis's fight tonight? David is tailor made for Canelo. Yeah, he's got a poor defense, but he is big. He's got fast hands, but I don't think he's got that much power. He fought I can't remember who he fought the last fight I saw, and the guy took him the distance almost. And I don't think he's got as powerful as what he thinks. But yeah. So Ray says, aren't you watching the Galahad fight? Well, I've got it on mute on my phone. Because I've got DAZN on my phone, so I can watch it while I'm doing this. He's not powerful, but he's strong. Yeah, he's physically strong. Benavidez, because he's big. You know what Benavidez is, Ray? Benavidez is a weight bully. He's draining himself. If you look, I saw an interview with Benavidez. Benavidez said that, he can hurt Canelo. But the thing is, what he's doing is, I don't think he's going to 175, and really that's where he should be at. And I saw his face. He looks drained. He looks like what Kell Brook looked at welterweight. He looks completely drained. His whole face is sucked in. And that's the sign of a fighter that's very drained. He needs to move up to 175. But maybe he's not doing it because he thinks Bivol and Beterbiev beat him. I think David is good, but not that good to beat Canelo. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he beats even some of the other guys. I'm not convinced. Salute, Brendan. I hope you're well. I hope good. I hope you're good. Adrian says, David Benavidez is no threat. It's more of an action-packed thriller, but would get stopped. He has too much body range for a short elite fighter. You know what? The other thing is, I think it's a big fight in Mexico as well. I think that fight could potentially be a huge fight in Mexico. They could fill out maybe 100,000 because Mexico have big stadiums. They have massive stadiums. I know they have one of the biggest stadiums in the world. I swear they've got a stadium there that holds 140,000. Was that Brazil that I'm thinking about? One of their stadiums is massive. So maybe they could have one. Maybe they could have a fight with Canelo Alvarez and Benavidez in I think it's the Azteca Stadium. That's massive. I think it's the Azteca Stadium. Guys, smash the like button. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button. Brendan Jackson says, Canelo will end Benavidez with a gazelle punch. With a gazelle punch. I think he'll end it with a body. I just think there's too much body there for Canelo, and I think Canelo will break his ribs if I'm honest with you. But yeah, that's just thing. And Benavidez is quite a skinny frame, isn't he? I think Canelo could do some serious damage. What's that? What's that? Ray says Benavidez can't beat them Dons at 175. He can't. Yeah, that's why he's at 168. He can't because he's a weight bully as far as I'm concerned. If it was Canelo's sparring partner that took David intolerable rounds. Yeah, David. Yeah, it was. I forgot the guy's name, man. The guy went the distance, I think, or got stopped late in like the late on in the fight. Now, if we're talking Benavidez at 175, that's a whole different monster. More full of more muscle, more energy. That would be the best version of him. I would favor David then. So you think David beats Canelo at 175? Steven says, what's going on, Steven? I hope you're well. Steven says, David Benavidez is strong, but has been down before. Canelo can hit him anytime he wants. Case David has a bad defense. Yeah, he has been down before. I've seen him hurt before. And Canelo is a very sharp puncher. I think even Caleb Plant could beat Canelo. Yeah, a lot of people prior were saying no. Yes, Bernie is the Azteca Stadium. Thanks for confirming that. But yeah, I think Caleb Plant can definitely beat David Benavidez. I think Benavidez could pressure Canelo similarly to how Josecito Lopez was pressuring Canelo, but David lacks defense that would cost him getting him hit by a power shot. Yeah, I agree. Ronald Ellis, that's it. Ronald Ellis was the guy that he fought last, and I don't even think Benavidez stopped him. I think did it go the distance or it went very late on. And that I wasn't that impressed, to be honest with you. I'm going to be brutally honest. I wasn't impressed by that performance by Benavidez. I'm going to watch the fight tonight and see how he gets on. Guys, what are you going to watch? I'm going to watch Rosado, and I'm going to be watching Rosado and Munguia because that's a war. That's a war. Guys, everyone in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. What do you guys think of Munguia and Rosado? Smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button. What do you guys make of Munguia and Rosado? That's a great fight. Yes, we need to understand that David has been wanted to go up. He needs to go up. He needs to go up because at the minute, he's a bit of a weight bully right now. Jose says he's not GGG powerful, but definitely punches harder than Plant. Yeah, he punches harder than Plant, but he's not a GGG powerful, and he hasn't got GGG's boxing ability either, I don't think. I think GGG is an unbelievable pressure fighter. The way he cuts off the ring, the way he cuts off, like, GGG is a different level. Adrian says, for a while now, because even he knows it, but he's waiting on Canelo. Yeah, but to be honest with you, there's some big fights out there at 175. Him and Bateria will be a massive fight. Guys, everyone in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, I really appreciate it. Ismail says, I think Munguia is too strong for Rosado. Great fight, though. Yeah, I believe Munguia will get the job done tonight. I think Munguia is very strong, and I think he'll like Rosado's style coming onto him. Imran, what's going on, Mill? I hope you're well. Leaf Hound says Munguia is going to whoop Rosado bad. You better believe it. I believe Munguia is going to hurt Rosado. I think he's going to stop him. I think Munguia is going to take it. Yeah. I think Rosado has 13 losses. Yeah, he does. He has a lot of losses. But you know what? He comes to fight. Rosado comes to fight, and he always gives a good fight. So fair play to Rosado. Sign Cutter says people think Benavidez is a power puncher. He has power, but he knocks people down from a combination of punches. Never been 3-hit or KO. Yeah, he's not a big puncher at all. I don't think he's a big puncher at all, to be honest with you. I've seen Ronald Ellis take a lot of his shots. I don't think he's a big puncher, to be honest with you. I don't know whether that's because of the fact that he's draining himself to make 168, because let's be honest, Sign Cutter. Benavidez shouldn't be at 168. He's drained at that weight. He's not a 168 fighter. He's draining himself. That's why he misses weight a lot, because he's not really a 168 fighter. He's a 175, which should be a higher weight class, because he's definitely struggling to make that weight. You can just tell he's struggling watching both. Yeah. Imran, you look a bit like Benavidez. Do I? I don't know. Possibly. Maybe now that I've got this cut, maybe. Ismail Rosado is a great warrior, though. He is a great warrior. You know, he comes to bring it all the time. Unfortunately, he lacks that skill against the elite level guys. But what a chin! What a tough guy. You know, he brings the heat every time. I like Munguia's stamina and high punch output. He'll stop Rosado late. Yeah, I think Rosado's tough. He's got a good chin, but I just feel like the referee's going to jump in late on and maybe save Rosado for another day because he's been in a lot of tough fights, man. Ismail, yeah, I think Benavidez should go to 175. He's barely making weight now. Did he not make weight yesterday as well? I heard he was 169. Did he miss weight yesterday, or was that fight just scheduled for 169? I heard I heard something. I didn't really see the weigh-in. Did he is he I think he weighed 169. Absolutely, Imran. I agree. Benavidez should be fighting at light heavyweight. He should be fighting at light heavyweight. What is he, 6'3"? You know, he looks drained as anything. He needs to be moving up because otherwise that's gonna start taking its toll on his body. And also when you're drained, your punch resistance ain't there. So imagine going up against Canelo at 168 when your punch resistance ain't there, you're gonna get chinned. Jose Ayala says, I got Munguia in, but Rosado will definitely make for an exciting fight. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Let me get the link in the chat. Smash the like button. Smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I really appreciate it. Anyone that wants to come on, I've left the link. Munguia v Charlo is a 50-50 fight. Yeah, it's a good fight. I don't know who I'd favor in that fight. It's a very good fight, actually. Both have, Munguia is like a pressure fight. Guys come forward, throw a lot of punches. That's a good fight, that is. Brian Jacob says, Gabe Rosado is basically the boxing version of Nate Diaz in UFC. Nate Diaz is tough as well. He's a great fighter as well. You know, he's a decent boxer as well, Nate Diaz. I think didn't he spar in Andre Ward's gym? And he did a lot of work with Andre Ward. He weighed 169. Rosado cuts easy. Yeah, he does. Rosado cuts a lot. You know, he bleeds a lot. And Munguia, I think Munguia is going to take advantage. It was 168, but there was a pound leeway from what I understand. Okay. Yeah, so that means he's really struggling to make weight, Sign Cutter. You know, Benavidez is struggling to make that weight. You can't weigh in at 169 you can't weigh in at 169 in a non-title fight. You can weigh in at 169. But I don't know, but that means he's struggling to make weight though. What do you think of Jose Benavidez fighting at 154 now? Jose Benavidez is a good fight. He gave Crawford a very good fight. But you know, his leg injury, I don't know if that's better. Is his leg injury better? Because those guys at 154, they're big and strong and they hit hard, and you can't be going in like with the injured leg. So if his leg is sorted, then maybe he made weight. None of these guys will beat Canelo. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I don't think any of them beat Canelo. Danny Lopez says, in Arizona, you can be a pound over. All right. Okay, fair enough. No Charlo wins. Imran, do you think Canelo is the best 168 pounds in history, or do you think was a better one? Well, there's Roy Jones, there's Calzaghe, there's Hopkins. There's some really good fighters. Do I think he's the best? I think he beats Calzaghe. I think he beats Hopkins. I know about Roy. Roy was something special. I'm not sure about Roy. I don't know. But Canelo's. I think Canelo's really good as well, man. I do think he would have beaten most guys at 168. I think Roy would have been a problem because Roy's bigger than Canelo and he was very athletically gifted in his prime. That would have been a hard fight. Charlo is overrated. Yeah, a little bit, to be honest. He's not really fought anybody. Munguia v. Charlo would end up with who has the better chin and more power because they both don't really have defense. Yeah, I think Munguia is probably a little bit more. I think Charlo's a bit more ripe, so to speak. Like I think Charlo's got more experience a little bit. I think you'd probably have to favor him slightly at the minute. The only way I think Munguia needs more experience. The only way I see Canelo taking an L is if he fights Spence or Crawford or Boots at a catch weight. Do you agree? No, man, those guys are too small. Those guys are really small. I don't see him losing to those guys. Brian Jacobs says, "What do you think about Canelo breaking 800 pay?" I think it's great. I think it shows obviously pay-per-view. Um, yeah, I don't think anyone else can do that. I think he's what Canelo's doing right now with the pay-per-view. I think he's breaking boundaries. Not anyone can do that. So fair play to Canelo, man. Canelo's the face of boxing right now, without question. What's going on, Makai?
How are you, man?
I'm good. All good. How are you? You all good?
Yeah, not today's been quite well. Yeah, not too bad at all.
We've had we've had some interesting news in boxing. There's some big fight. There's some good fights coming up. Firstly, after that, what do you make of Benavidez saying that he will hurt Canelo Alvarez badly?
I mean, I love his confidence. I
Mm.
think when him and Canelo fight, I think it's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But Benavidez, he needs to make weight first. I mean, apparently he missed
yeah,
weight, didn't he?
yeah. He
Yeah,
did. Well,
like
he's 169, but they say you can weigh that for a non-title fight.
yes. Yeah. I think that
He's
is
not.
true. But like,
Yeah.
I feel his challenge is still fighting at 168. Like he hasn't been going too
Mm,
well with making it,
mm,
but you know he's getting Benavidez. That's all we know.
yeah. I think Benavidez. I think Benavidez is killing himself. I saw him do an interview this week. He's obviously fighting tonight. Firstly, what do you make? Do you think Benavidez is going to win tonight?
Yeah, I don't know too much about the guy he's facing,
Davis.
Cairo
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, of course I believe Benavidez will win. Even if I saw footage or fights of that Davies, I'd still pick Benavidez.
Thing is
Yeah,
with Benavidez, I think Benavidez is struggling to make weight, Makai. I think he's
yeah,
really killing himself to make weight. I don't think he's a 168-pound fighter. I think he's really going to struggle. And I think if he was to fight Canelo, I think also when you're drained, your chin is not that good either. And he's been down before at 168 as well.
yeah.
I think he's going to be in big trouble against Canelo if he fights him at 168. I think the best would be for Benavidez, but I think Benavidez isn't moving up to 175. I think he's afraid that he may lose to someone like Beterbiev or Bivol, because then he won't have the size difference that he has. He doesn't have the advantage. So basically, he's like a weight bully, isn't
Yeah, I feel he's just staying at 168 because he wants the Canelo fight. Obviously the big payday. It's what every other
he?
fighter's doing,
Mm,
and I can agree. Maybe he doesn't actually want to move up because he's got the dangerous guys like Beterbiev and everyone. But we'll see as it goes. If he does get the Canelo fight and then he
mm,
moves up, that'll be the best thing for him because there's no point in him fighting. There's no point me watching him fight if he's not like going to be healthy. Really, he's going to be drained and
mm.
everything. Like, yeah, it just won't be good to see.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Let me go through some of these comments. Adrian says, so Alvarez will put Crawford or Spence on a stretcher. Yeah, I think we agree with that. This one, Adrian
Uh-huh.
says, Joe Calzaghe, Roy Jones, and Andre Ward are more tested at 168. But overall, as a career, I put Canelo in closet with Roy than the other two. But in the weight itself, I believe it's Roy Jones. Okay, so I want to put this question out to you, Makai. Canelo Alvarez is now the undisputed king at 168. There's been some great fighters at 168. Andre Ward, Joe Calzaghe. There's been Bernard Hopkins. There's been Roy Jones. Where do you place Canelo amongst those type of fighters?
You see, you can make an argument that Canelo is
Yeah, yeah,
greater than them all,
yeah,
but does
yeah,
he beat them? I don't see him beating Roy Jones.
yeah.
I don't see him being Kawasaki or Andre Ward. That's the
Right.
thing. But he's
Mm.
great. But you could argue that he's greater than them because he's undisputed.
Yeah, yeah.
If you get what I mean,
I,
and he done it in such a short period of time.
in my opinion, I believe Canelo beats Joe Calzaghe. I believe
Mhm.
styles make fights. I believe Canelo's style would be a horrible problem for Joe Calzaghe. I think Andre Ward is a 50-50 fight, but I think Ward might be a slight favorite. And I
Mm.
think Roy would beat him. I think Roy was some.
Yeah, you know, Roy's man,
Roy
he was
beats
something
all of them.
special, man. He
Roy beats
was,
all of
oh
them, by
yeah,
the way.
no doubt. Roy is probably one of the most talented guys I've seen. Like
Yeah,
he was just so blessed, wasn't he? Like he
yeah,
just
yeah.
had it all. Yeah.
Do you think the prime Roy Jones would have, like, obviously Calzaghe beat Roy Jones, but do you
Mhm.
think Roy in his prime would have destroyed Calzaghe?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Roy in his prime was something else, man. He was special. He was
Yeah, he
special.
was. He was.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, so I think Canelo would give any of those guys a good fight without question. But it's difficult to say whether he would have beaten them, or I think he could have beaten some and he could have lost some, because Ward had a very difficult style. Um,
Yeah.
Sign Cutter says Roy in his prime was a monster. At super middleweight, I still have Roy as the GOAT. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I think me and Makai both agree with you there. I think
Mm.
Roy was something else. Crawford and Spence would get too slow at 160 or 168 for a full-blown Canelo. Yeah, I think that wouldn't really be a bit. This I want to ask you, Makai. 800K pay-per-view buys just shows Canelo is still and well and truly the face of boxing. What do you make of that? Canelo and
Hey,
Clark, 800,000
yeah, that's
pay-per-view.
great numbers. Great numbers. Canelo showing that he is the guy. He's the face of boxing. You know, and that's brilliant. That's what did him and Golovkin get?
I think it was over 1 million. But remember,
Just over a
Makai, this
million.
guy's pay-per-view price is at
Mm,
$79.99.
yeah,
We're talking about probably £60. Imagine having a pay-per-view here in £60 and doing 800,000
yeah,
pay-per-view buys. It's
and
crazy.
yeah, and that's just that was just in America, wasn't it? Like they haven't got all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
others.
yeah.
Like
It wasn't worldwide. Yeah,
yeah, it isn't
yeah,
worldwide. So I mean, it could be near. It could be near a million. Man.
yeah, yeah. That's what I mean.
It could be near a
Canelo's
million. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
yeah. He's the face of
And
boxing.
you know the next fights, yeah, I
Mm,
feel they're going to be bigger fights, so they're just going to go up
yes,
more. Like I mean,
Benavidez.
him and Benavidez, that will do great numbers, like
Oh
great.
yeah,
Him and Bivol, not so much to be honest, but him and Beterbiev, I think that will do great numbers as well.
yeah, yeah.
Like the fights, yeah, it'll be
What
great.
about him and Charlo?
Yeah, that's also a really big fight. Him and Andrade,
Yeah,
not really. I don't really know to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Maybe the
Uh,
beef that they've had, maybe it may do a bit bigger. It may do some numbers because
mm,
they've got something going on there, haven't they?
yeah,
So I don't know, but yeah, I think Benavidez will be massive because they're two Mexicans. You know what? Also, I was saying that they could probably fight in Mexico's like Azteca Stadium, where I think it
yeah.
has 100,000 capacity. They could probably fill that out as well.
Yeah, you know, and what's really good about it as well, because obviously we know it's a good, and obviously like just big fights like that are getting really hyped, like the build up and everything. It just makes you, you know, more excited for the
Yeah,
fight. But when
yeah,
it's a huge fight, you just get excited for it. That's what will be good about it, because Canelo and Benavidez is such a big fight.
yeah. It is, yeah, it is. I reckon that will do probably about 1.3 million, probably
Mm.
1.5,
Imagine
possibly.
that on Cinco de Mayo and everything. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
that'd be massive. I think
Yeah.
that's what they're saying next, that there's a good chance that Benavidez and Canelo happens next.
Yeah, I've been seeing videos saying that apparently like Benavidez is the option. They're gonna try and get the fight. So yeah, that's great news.
So let's see some of these questions. Adam says, if no light heavyweight fight, then Benavidez definitely should be next. Yeah, I'd agree with that. What do you think? What do you want to see next from Canelo?
Um,
Right?
it's obviously it's always been between Benavidez and Charlo really. I mean,
Yeah.
because I don't really think Canelo's gonna move up. I think he's
Mm,
just gonna. I'd prefer him to stay at super middleweight. But if he wants to be more greater, then yes, move up. Just
yeah.
make his legacy even bigger and bigger. But I'd prefer him to stay at 168 for a bit to get those fights first.
Fair enough. Jose Ayala says only time will beat Canelo or fighting Usyk at a catch weight in a
Huh.
cruiserweight division. What do you guys? Kid Galahad said that he feels that Canelo will beat everyone from light heavyweight and cruiserweight, and he beats everyone at heavyweight, and the only guy that beats him is Tyson Fury.
Galahad said that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know he said that. No, I don't think. Yeah, cruiserweight. Yeah, no, like Canelo is good, but the weights will matter when he moves up to like cruiserweight and everything. Yeah, that's I mean, I like how Galahad
Imagine
feels about
Canelo
Canelo.
against Joshua.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Joshua would kill him. He's massive.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be,
he's too big. Yeah.
it's too big, too big. But having said that, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if Canelo goes up to cruiserweight and wins the title. He may be able to win a title at cruiserweight.
I'll tell you what. I'll be surprised if he does. I'll be
You
surprised.
reckon?
Yeah, I just think they're too big, and obviously you got Mary's Brady's. Obviously
Yeah,
he's got
Benavidez,
two of the yeah. That's a
Coley,
yeah very dangerous fighters.
and there's Makabu.
Yeah, Mugabe. Yeah, obviously you got the Dorticos as well.
Yeah, he's a good fighter as well. He's a
Yeah, I mean, mm,
strong guy. There's some good guys there, man. There's some good guys there. Very
yeah.
good guys there. When you lose your belt, uh, on the scale, you're having trouble making weight. Period. Yeah, definitely. He's definitely struggling making weight without question. Benavidez is struggling.
Mm.
Benavidez will get beat by anybody with a good jab. Brotherhood says
Oh,
it. Benavidez will get beat by anybody with a good jab.
um, I mean, I can definitely understand where he's coming from because Benavidez got horrible defense. He just walks at you,
Yeah,
with his hands up, but like, I mean, they're just still open to get popped with a jab constantly. But man, I don't think you can just beat him with a jab. You do need to show that you've got you need to be well conditioned and everything. I mean, because it's a bit like with Darrell. He had a good jab and everything, but he just couldn't handle the pressure and everything. Then he just got beat down really by Benavidez.
yeah. I'd agree. Says here, Calypso says Crawford couldn't take a punch or wobbled against Mean Machine and Gamboa. He can't take a punch from Canelo. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Um, Adams got it in this order. He's got Roy, Ward, Canelo, and Calzaghe.
Well, I didn't like the greatest or like the better.
Yeah, the greatest. Yeah, the greatest super middleweights.
Yeah, I mean the four fighters, they're great, man. They're just
Yeah,
like you can make any argument really.
yeah, you can. Yeah, I think they're all great fighters. Um, Blitz Bane says the only reason Canelo lost to Mayweather was because he had to. They would never have let him into the US market without it. Canelo will never lose now. That is boxing.
Well, Canelo lost fair and square against Floyd, and
Yeah,
even if it was this Canelo now,
yeah,
that skill set, and he fought Floyd in his prime for prime, Floyd always wins. He always
yeah,
wins, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't really see a lot more people being Canelo. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. And Mayweather was too good for Alvarez adapt to back then. Yeah. Ward lost the first Kovalev fight. What do you make of that? Do you think Ward lost the first Kovalev fight?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he definitely lost that fight. You know, Kovalev was outboxed him, man. That halfway in, yeah, Ward was getting his moments, but he wasn't really. He was low blowing Kovalev a lot as well. I thought,
Yeah.
in my opinion, being
Yeah,
very
he was. I
dirty.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ward is quite dirty though at times, eh?
yeah.
He does
I've seen a
genuinely
video of
some
him
like low
literally
blows.
elbowing fighters and everything. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's very bad.
Um, let's see what Sankota has to say. He says, had Alvarez had the stamina and experience he had against Plant and fought that style, it would have been a much more competitive fight with Mayweather. Of course, if Canelo in his prime fought Mayweather, it'd be a lot more competitive, won't it, Mackay?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, Canelo's improved. He's mainly fought all the styles and everything. You know, his work ethic. It will definitely give Floyd just a better fight, but Floyd always wins, man. You know, Floyd's got his number.
Mm-hmm. Adam says if Canelo he were to fight Andrade, the payday line would be used as intro video. Yeah, that was
It
brilliant.
actually would, you know. I
That
can
was
see that.
that was brilliant. What do you make of Bivol and Alvarez at 168?
Yeah, Alvarez, you know, Bivol will be drained. It won't be the
Yeah, yeah,
best Bivol. Bivol that fight needs to be at 175 so we can get the best. So we can
yeah,
get the best Bivol and well, I'm not going to say the best Canelo, but you know, Canelo will still be healthy.
yeah, yeah.
Moving up, yeah.
So Ward retired when he so said Ward retired when he found out Canelo was coming to 175. I don't know. I think
Uh,
Ward would have jumped at that kind of fight. I think Ward would have loved fighting Canelo Alvarez because that would have been a big payday for him, right?
yeah, and I mean Canelo, he decided to go to 165 in like 2019.
Yeah,
Ward retired. When did Ward retire? He retired ages before that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He did. Yeah, he did. Ward retired in 2017, I think.
yeah, 2017. That's it. Yeah,
Canelo v Ramirez held at Aztec Stadium. Ramirez is Mexico born. What do you think of Gilberto Ramirez?
I don't think he's that good to be honest, mate. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think like someone like Bivol would just outbox him.
yeah,
Beterbiev, you know, I think obviously Beterbiev, we all know what Beterbiev would do to him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Gilberto Ramirez, I don't think I don't think he's really that good to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's not that good. He's
Brotherhood says
powerful. He's powerful, but that's it. Really, his technique and everything. Yeah,
the Brotherhood says Andre chose money over legacy when he pulled out of the Charlo fight. The payday thing only applies to him. Do you?
yeah. Well, obviously, Jamel. It was quite a while ago, ages ago. Him and Jamel.
Hmm.
Obviously, not Jamal. There was it was when Andre was at super welterweight,
Hmm.
and yeah, they had their fight scheduled and everything, and Andre pulled out.
Hmm.
Yeah, but no one talks about that. Andre, everyone talks about like no one wants to fight Andre. Andre, he pulled out of Charlo fight.
Hmm.
Derevchenko, like this goes on.
Hmm. Ward and Roy Jones. So Francisco Garza says Ward or Roy Jones. Who would you pick, Ward or Roy Jones?
Oh, Roy Jones, any day.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd agree as well.
Two fights.
Yeah, it's very fast, too quick. Benavidez can't even make weight anymore. He weighed in at 169 yesterday. How long is he going to challenge? Or is he going with challenge Canelo for the titles? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. As long as Canelo, there's reports that Canelo might fight him next in
Yeah,
May.
that's what I'm doing. And it'll be better if Canelo fights him out because Benavidez is just going to be getting better and better. So it's smart that Canelo's choosing him now. I mean, then I reckon he'll probably fight Charlo after that because he's with the PBC now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably how I see it going because he can. If he don't fight Benavidez, he will just get better. But it's not like Charlo's getting any better. I mean, how old's Charlo now? He's like 31, probably. You know,
Yeah.
he's in
Yeah.
his prime, and he's. I mean, should have seen his last fight. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
he's improving at
Terrible.
all. Yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't look
he
like he's
looked
improving.
bad.
Benavidez is getting better and better. You know,
Mm.
he may be struggling with the weight, but I mean, the guy is still getting better and better.
Fair enough. Hector says, I wanted to see him fight Benavidez if he becomes Canelo mandatory. I think Charlo needs to take up a tune-up fight at 168 with a quality opponent to test the weight. What do you think?
Well, depends who it is. You know, Charlo, he doesn't really like to challenge himself because he
What
feels he
about
will
Charlo
lose
Plant?
the payday. Charlo Plant, I love the fight. I think Plant wins.
Yeah, I think Plant might be too much, too
I think Plant will
skillful.
be a bit too slick for him, a bit fast. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
it'll be
he's
a good
big.
fight though. Yeah.
Yeah. Joshua moves down to 175. I don't think it's possible for Joshua to move down to 175
Yeah, he won't be able to, mate.
before going into a fight with Canelo. So it says here, Canelo v Usyk would be the fight of the history. Would be the fight of the history. What do you think? Do you think that's possible, Makai?
No, that's nowhere near impossible. I mean, Usyk is at heavyweight, and even if it was a cruiserweight Usyk, he would be way too much for Canelo, like way too much. Even if they were the same size, I
Mm,
still think Usyk would beat him. You know, Usyk, I look at Usyk and Loma, like I look at Roy Jones as well. They're just so special,
Mm-hmm.
for what they do.
Yeah, I think Usyk is very, very good and he's very, very big.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I think Canelo's great as well. Cruiserweight is ridiculous for Alvarez. Usyk would kill him. Just too big. He would absorb everything Alvarez could dish out, and he boxes well enough to hurt Alvarez. Yeah, he
yeah.
is. Yeah, he is. He's too big, man. We're talking about guys that are 6'3" now and very skilled. Roy Jones and Canelo both beat Ward in my opinion. I don't put Ward in the same category as those two. I put him in the Mosley De La Hoya category. What do you think about that?
Well, how you need to look at it is how Ward's going to fight him, because we all know Ward's
Mm.
he's going to try and get him. We know he's going to be a bit dirty and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but if and we just need to know what type of referee it will be,
Yeah,
really, for
yeah,
the
yeah.
fight and everything. It just matters with those things. But yeah, I just think Ward might be a bit too much for him. He's bigger than him. He can box as well. He's not a stupid fighter either. He does
Mm-hmm.
know what he's doing, but he is dirty as well. So then that will probably play in his advantage. So yeah, I think he'll beat Canelo.
Fair enough. Adams here says Canelo would need to be at least 6'1" to stand a chance v modern heavyweights. Yeah, he's too small in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
agree.
absolutely.
Sign Cutter says Dre now in last place for Dre. I think Calzaghe is before Ward, possibly. Possibly that'd be a good fight as
I,
well. How
I, I
would
think the styles. I think Kawasaki would beat Ward, just
yeah,
because of the styles and everything.
yeah, possibly.
Kawasaki, man, yeah,
He
the
was a good
work
fighter.
rate and everything. Yeah, the work rate. He was a good boxer as well. Yeah, I think I generally think he would outwork Andre Ward and get the better of them. A lot of them. When I said it, a lot of Americans obviously, because they praise Ward so much, they all disagreed with me and everything. But
Mm,
I generally think Kawasaki would have been too much.
fair enough. What do you guys make of Golovkin v Murata? It's been made.
Yeah, man, it's a unification. What I'm liking is that people are saying, "Oh, why ain't Golovkin fighting Andre? No one cares about Murata.
Mm,
Golovkin's stuck in them." And obviously, their whole logic is that because Andre and Charlo have called him out and Golovkin hasn't fought it, it must mean Golovkin's stuck in them. But I'm pretty sure Murata's called them all out as well, but they haven't said anything. So does that mean they're ducking Murata? I mean,
hmm
they need to keep the same energy. I don't think no. I don't think they're ducking him, but that's their logic when they're talking about Golovkin. So they need to keep the same energy with these kind of things. Because Murata, he's called them all out. They
mm,
ain't said nothing. So that must mean they're ducking them, right?
mm.
It must mean that.
Ahmed, what do you make of Golovkin v Murata? Ahmed? Ahmed's not there. So the Awaken says Benavidez has to move up to 175. He can't make 168 anymore. He is too scared to move up there. He knows he'll get slaughtered up there. What do you make? Do you think Benavidez is afraid to go to 175 because he doesn't think he has a chance?
Oh man, I don't know. That's the thing. I feel he's just staying at 168 to get in the Canelo fight.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. See, it's very tough because there's no proof like that he
Hmm.
actually is ducking those guys. I generally feel it's just for the adversary, because if he moves up to 175, I don't
Hmm.
think Al will move up to 175 to fight Benavidez.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
Benavidez won't even have a belt or anything.
Yeah. Uh, so in terms of yeah, I think I still think that there's that worry that he knows if he goes to 175, it's going to be hard to beat those guys because those guys are big as well. So yeah, so Brotherhood says Charlo has already moved up and fought bigger guys. Can't say the same for Benavidez.
Charlo, I mean, I'm pretty sure Charlo's always been bigger than his opponents.
Yeah, especially at 154, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. We're talking about Jamal, aren't we? Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was 154. He was so much bigger than all these guys. Yeah, I think Charlo's fought anyone that's bigger than him. Like him and Montiel, they were the same size, I think. I mean, and look what happened. So,
Rob F says Canelo had the wrong strategy against Floyd. You can't outbox him. You have to apply constant pressure and throw punches like Maidana.
yeah, but Canelo's not like that. We can't.
Yeah.
You know, Canelo's never fought like Canelo is like you know a counter. Well, back then he was he was a counter puncher, etc. He wanted to box guys. Maidana, he was always a brawler and everything. Really, Canelo can't just switch it up and just fight like that because he's not used to it.
Yeah,
It's different conditioning and everything. You know, he would have been knackered after 4 rounds probably of trying it because he's not used to those kind of things.
yeah. I'd have to agree with you there. That I think Canelo is he's more of a counter puncher, more of a boxer, and Mayweather he's the best boxer out there. So I think that's why his style played into Mayweather's hands.
He's turning more into it now, though. Obviously he gets you to the ropes and just unloads on you. So he's kind of like it now, but obviously not as like Maidana was and everything. But yeah, he's kind of like it now.
So Blitzbane said, I will disagree. Canelo's has 60 fights and 39 knockouts, almost as much knockouts than Mayweather has career wins. And Canelo has not decided to retire like all these so-called champions. I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, I'm a bit.
What do you mean by that, Blitzbane? So Hachi Boxer says, Canelo is too skilled for Benavidez. Benavidez is a come forward fighter with power. I don't think he can hurt Canelo. Canelo schools him. I'd agree. What do you think, Makai?
Well, how Benavidez fights, he's kind of going to play Canelo's game. Canelo will easily be able to counter him. With Plant was fast, but he'd step out and everything to avoid getting hit. Benavidez isn't like that. He just comes at you, unloads, and it will give enough time for Canelo to counter. And everything. But I'm interested to see how it all plays out because Canelo's not going to be able to just walk forward to Benavidez because Benavidez, he's a lot bigger and he's actually got pop in his punches. He's got power.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
So the Awaken says, "Where is Christian, aka Andre fanboy? I have a question for him. I don't know where he is today. Blitzbane says Canelo is 31, Floyd was 38. Canelo is 31, Floyd was 38. What? Oh no, he was 36 at the time when he fought Canelo. Yeah, I like Charlo more than Benavidez. I like Charlo more than Benavidez. What do you think about that fight, Benavidez v Charlo?
I mean, I might look at it, I don't know why Charlo doesn't want that fight. Charlo can win that fight. He actually, I generally feel Charlo can win. He's got power, he's got a good jab, he's athletic. He definitely can beat Benavidez. Benavidez, he's open all the time for big punches. Charlo, he's got power and he'll move up. The power will probably come with it. I don't know why Charlo doesn't want to fight him. That's actually a really good fight. A really good fight for both. And that's a fight both of them can win. That's what's confusing me about it. Yeah.
I'd agree. I don't know why either. Leafhound says Charlo is a tune-up for Canelo. It's a big fight. It's not a tune-up in the sense that it's a big fight. But how do you see that fight going, Canelo v Charlo?
I think Canelo will struggle at the start, because Charlo, he's long. He is quite well using his distance, Charlo. We saw it in the Derevyanchenko fight and everything, and he's got pop in his punches to make Canelo a bit wary, so Canelo won't just walk forward at him. But the Canelo will just start to figure it out because Charlo, he hasn't got a lot in his game. He's got a jab and he mainly uses his size as well to help. When a fighter is trying to come forward, he pushes you back and everything. Tries all that stuff, but Canelo will start to figure him out. He'll counter him, get him to the body because in the Derevyanchenko fight, we saw Charlo get hurt to the body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and then I think Canelo will start unloading, and he'll start to throw ground. I think he'll win on points. It'll be a good fight, though.
Yeah. Blitz Spain says, Marky Dan, sure. But if we are comparing, let's go down the. Okay, so why is Benavidez being matched up with middleweights anyway? Sounds like he is scared to fight guys his size, says the Brotherhood. What do you make of that? He is fighting small guys, to be honest.
It's because Benavidez is big for his division. Him and Callum Smith, they're quite big for their division, so you're not really going to see any of them fight people with the same size, except if those two fight. They're big guys. You can weight bullies. You can call them weight bullies, but Callum Smith, he's now moved up, of course. He looked really strong. It will do Benavidez a big favor if he moves up, but he wants that Canelo fight. So let's hope it's next, because it'll be better for him, and it'll also be better for Canelo, because Benavidez is just getting better. So that's the fight I want to see. For that reason.
What do you think of the fights tonight? So obviously you think Benavidez wins. We got Gabe Rosado and Jaime Munguia. How do you see that one playing out?
You see, what I'm confused is, are you excited for that fight? Are you interested in that fight?
I think it's going to be a war. I think it's a good, exciting fight.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't interest me. I don't think. I don't know, like when Rosado called him out, it just didn't really interest me. I wanted Munguia to fight Derevyanchenko.
Right.
See that fight was ordered, but Munguia, he's going to
What
fight
do you make of Rosado? What do you make of Rosado in his last win?
Yeah, Rosado, he seems to be improving. I felt he beat Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah,
and obviously
but
what
he
he
was
done
getting battered in that last fight, though, wasn't he?
What by Bettman, and then he
he was getting
but I think Rosado was Rosado's plan. To tire him out, catch him when he leaps in. But it was very risky because he got hurt. He got put down as well by the body shots. But yeah, Rosado, he's definitely trying to improve more.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. I think Rosado is what he is. He's a tough guy. He comes to bring it. But yeah, I'm not sure.
He fights everyone, man. He fights everyone. He fought Golovkin in his prime when no one wanted to fight him. He even had to move up to fight Golovkin because no one was fighting him.
Is he the Derek Chisora of the super middleweight and middleweight division?
Yeah. He'll fight everyone, but he won't win them all.
Yeah.
Sorry, he didn't really win that. He hasn't really won any of these big fights, to be honest. So I'd say they're both the same, really.
Why do
they're the fighters I like.
Why do you think Plant beats Charlo?
He's I generally think he's just a better boxer. The better jab. He's got decent defense. He's a bit tricky as well. He's got the speed and everything. It will be a good fight, but and Plant, him and Charlo about the same size as well. Charlo will find someone he's the same size as him. No, I think Plant will be a bit tricky for him. He's quite slick, Plant, and everything. Got a good jab. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Let's see. Charlo knocks Benavidez out regardless. He is all wrong for Benavidez. The Brotherhood says. The Brotherhood seems like he really likes Charlo. He's not a big fan of Andrade, but he likes Charlo. Do you think Charlo would knock Benavidez out?
He can definitely land one on them. He definitely can. That's why, I'm confused why that fight isn't happening.
I would love to see that fight, by the way. I think it's a good fight.
Yeah. That's a very exciting fight, man.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's definitely a very, very good fight. So the Canelo, if Canelo could destroy Charlo, then the franchise title wouldn't exist. I don't get what he means. Is he trying to say that Canelo ducked Charlo?
Yeah, he's trying to say Canelo ducked Charlo. I mean, God,
I think it's hard to say Canelo ducked anyone now. You know what I mean? When you look at his resume, Canelo fight them all. Canelo will fight all of them, and he's already talking about fighting Charlo. He's open to that Charlo fight, isn't he?
Yeah, you literally see in interviews them talking, saying, that fight. Canelo literally says that fight's definitely going to happen. Canelo's trainer Reynoso, who is also his manager,
Mm.
literally has listed 4 guys. He's said Charlo for like ages now. He says it Charlo, Benavidez, Bivol, and Beterbiev. Like, they're not afraid of Charlo. They're not afraid of these guys. I don't know where people are getting this from.
Mm.
Honestly, I generally don't know where people are getting this from. Why would he duck? Why on earth would he duck Charlo?
Yeah,
This
he wouldn't.
Canelo's went 24 rounds with Golovkin, and you think he's ducking Charlo? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no way he's ducking Charlo.
Yeah,
Canelo would jump at a fight with Charlo, in my opinion. He would.
yeah.
He would. Boston Jorge says weight matters. Prime Floyd v Prime Canelo at 168. Floyd can't hurt Canelo. 160 still might be too big. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's where I don't agree with this, because that won't happen. Floyd couldn't fight at 160. Floyd can't fight at 168. So obviously Canelo would win, because Canelo's a big guy. What we're talking about is skill set. That Floyd in his prime would always beat Canelo because he's more skilled, I believe. The only thing Floyd doesn't have is power like Canelo. But remember, Floyd at welterweight was a small guy. At the smaller weight classes, Floyd had knockouts as well. So yeah, I think Mayweather was something else, man. Mayweather was really Canelo's great as well. And maybe when you look at him skill for skill, there's not a lot in it. But Mayweather was just defensively, he was a wizard. Like, you couldn't get near him, Mackay.
Yeah, exactly. This is sort of like Mayweather. Was running when he was fighting Alvarez. He was standing in the middle of him, just
Yeah.
making him miss. Pop. He was just clearly outboxing, showing us the sweet science. He wasn't trying to pop shot or anything. He was showing us the sweet science of everything.
Yeah,
That's why he's just so much better than him. Yeah.
that was a great. So it says here, Leafhound says Charlo could KO Montiel, yet he's going to KO Benavidez. What do you make of that? That's true. Charlo couldn't KO Montiel. How's he going to KO Benavidez?
Well, I mean, Benavidez may be better than Montiel, but we don't know if he's tougher than Montiel. You can still be better than a fighter, but he can still be tougher than you.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's true. Montiel, he was fighting like a maniac, just lunging in and getting hit with a lot, but he was just taking them. We don't know if Benavidez can do that, especially when it's at 168, when he can't make weight, and obviously when he's drained, it affects your chin and everything.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. EK's in the house. I hope you're well, EK. What's going on?
Salam, Imran, man. How's everything?
Salam to
Can
you
you
as
hear
well,
me?
man. All good, man. All good. Hey, yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you. I want to ask you a question, EK. Put
Yeah,
these
go ahead.
fighters in order: Roy Jones, Calzaghe, Andre Ward, Canelo Alvarez, and Bernard Hopkins.
Oh, are we just Roy on number 1 for sure?
Yeah.
He
Sure,
captured like his skills and his he really shook up the
the
boxing scene
boxing
back
world.
in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. He was amazing. Roy
yeah.
number 1, 2. Uh, damn. I'd say Bernard, Canelo, and then I'll go with shit. I don't want to it's the first time I'm thinking about this because a lot of these guys are like almost. I don't want to put like Kozaki's too low, because he's amazing. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
He really
And
was amazing. So I
He
really,
beat Roy and Bernard Hopkins.
yeah, but like he didn't beat him at his peak, So I'm
He
not
beat
gonna.
him past the best. Yeah.
Roy, yeah. But definitely like
Ward.
he's definitely like he's a Hall of Famer, all-time legend.
Yeah.
He's an all-time great. Kozaki. I'm not acting, but I still feel like if he fought Canelo, like I think everyone at their prime, I would beat everyone at their prime. If Roy was in his prime, he would beat everyone.
I'd agree.
So
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I rate Canelo's. You know what I was thinking the other day when I was watching the Canelo fight? Canelo's he reminded me of Khabib, you know how the Khabib beats people with pressure, like he's just walking
Yeah,
in, walking, and no matter what the other person's doing, Khabib always like his pressure just like overpowers. Like he might not even be throwing punches, just by the threat of Khabib's
physical
takedown
presence.
and
Yeah,
his face. Yeah, just the threat of his wrestling,
I think EK is
his
having problems
feints,
with his
the threat.
Wi-Fi. So Ward, is this? Do you agree with this, Makai? Ward would beat Canelo, in my opinion. 50-50 fight, though. What do you
Yeah.
think? What
Yeah,
Marky?
Ward will be no, but it's a 50-50 fight. It'll be a good fight. Like, it wouldn't be because obviously, a lot of these fanboys, they say, oh, Ward will destroy him.
Yeah,
They even say he'll knock him out. I'm like, how on earth? Since when is Canelo going to get knocked out? I don't see Canelo getting knocked out. If you're taking big punches from Golovkin for 24 rounds, I don't see anyone knocking that guy out.
Mm. So D Garcia is back and forth comment section goes, Benavidez would end Charlo in under 9 rounds. You think Benavidez would stop Charlo, Makai?
Yes. Charlo, as I said, Charlo can definitely catch him. That's a fight he can definitely win. It's a fight they can both win. But if I was a better man, I'd probably, I reckon Benavidez probably would. Benavidez, he hits hard, man. He does hit hard. He's a big guy, and he overwhelms you with his pressure and everything.
So Ward is a thug. He wouldn't be able to pull that crap on Alvarez, as proven with Plant. Alvarez can also get dirty also.
That's you know what? That's true. That's true, actually. Do you know what I liked actually? What Canelo was doing with Plant? When Plant, see Canelo, that was the plan. They knew that they was doing it at the camp. When Plant would go in to hold, Canelo would kind of like hold him back, didn't he? He'd kind of like turn him a little, and then he'd punch him like in the clinch, which was very smart, because he's stopping Plant from doing what he wanted to do. So he could try that stuff with Ward, but Ward, he would literally lunge in with his headbutt you. He'd sometimes elbow you, but I mean, we just don't know if it will work or not. But I'm probably gonna pick Ward still, because he didn't only just win because he was dirty. He was also good. He was a good fighter as well.
Yeah, he was very skillful. This is a good one. Boston Jorge says Loma beats Tank at 126, 130. 135 is a 50-50 fight, and 140 is Tank's winning. What do you think?
I mean, well, Loma, he doesn't. Does Loma? Well, how much weight does Loma even need to cut at lightweight? He doesn't even cut weight.
No.
He's probably just 140. And I mean, Tank, he gets a bit bigger when he's not training. I still think Loma could win.
Yeah.
I still think Loma could win.
I think that's a dangerous fight, though, isn't it? It's one of those fights.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous. Tank, man, he's got real power.
Tank, what do you make of Tank, though? That he needs to step up and fight somebody now.
He's not like some prospect. He's not 22. He's 27.
Is he 27 now?
Yeah, he's 27 now.
Pedrazo, he was so young.
It feels like it doesn't even feel that long ago, does it?
No, yeah, exactly. He needs to step up now, man. It's time to really step up. It's frustrating. It's frustrating
and it's just like his team, guys like Leonard Edeby, Floyd, like they're just conning. They're just trying to con everyone, like hyping up Barrios, calling Tank a freeweight world champ when he literally has only won one legit belt. Like it's so bad, man. It is so bad, and like Tank, he's got a lot of fans, he's got a lot of fanboys, and they just go along with it. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So Brotherhood Sports says, I don't know. EK's having connection problems. I don't know why it's not letting him on, but it says here, Bit Spain says Canelo has proven everyone wrong time and time again. What do you think about that, Makai? Do you think Canelo doesn't get the credit for him doing what he's done in the sport of boxing?
Oh no, he don't get credit. He definitely. I mean, he's undisputed, and people still don't give him the credit. They're saying they're weak fighters. You know, I hear, you know, have you heard the saying Euro bums?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just ridiculous. You know, I don't know what does them being from a different country got to do with anything. Like, I don't get it. It's just, you know, that they were undefeated. They had a belt. They're in Canelo's era. That's not his fault. Like they would have said the same about if Benavidez still had the belt and Canelo beat him. They would have said the same about Benavidez. Like it's just so silly, man. It's so silly.
Canelo will KO both Charlos in the same night. Yeah, possibly. Calzaghe was good, more skilled than Ward. Calzaghe style's all wrong for Ward. Yeah, possibly you might be right there, Makai. And so Murata is a marginal is a marginal fighter. I haven't seen anything impressive from him. Hasn't fought anybody. GG wins Murata at 70%. What do you think?
I mean, Murata, you know,
Do you think Murata could beat him? I've heard someone say Murata could win that fight.
I don't see Murata winning. But you know where Golovkin's at now, he's 39. You know, Murata could probably give him a good fight. But you know, Murata, I mean, you know Rob Brandt.
Yeah.
I mean, he was undefeated. American, he was hyped up. You know, he beat Murata, and then he went and fought Murata. He gave Murata a rematch in his hometown in Japan, and Murata just pummeled him inside 3 rounds.
Yeah,
you know, he's not a terrible fighter.
No, he's not. I think Murata could really bring the heat. You know, he's definitely gonna bring it. So I'm looking forward to that fight, Makai.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, if Charlo fought Murata, Murata would be his hardest fight, and if Andrade fought Murata, Murata would be Andrade's hardest fight.
Yeah,
would you agree? Yeah, Murata's not an awful opponent.
No, he's not. He's not, and especially at Golovkin's age, you got to give him credit because Golovkin's taking on all like he's basically, if we think about it, he's taking on a guy when he's unifying the division when really Andrade and Charlo should be doing that now.
I mean, Andrade and Charlo, they should be fighting each other. They're both in their primes.
What's going on?
Undefeated. Yeah, that's why I don't bother with this division anymore. You know, and what was I saying, Murata as well? The Golovkin fight. People don't understand that Murata fight is huge in Japan. Like, you know, Golovkin's gonna be getting so much money. After that fight, like Golovkin's been wanting that fight for a few years now because it's such a huge fight in Japan. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad Golovkin, you know, he's getting his money. You know, it's the unification as well. So I don't really know what's going to go on after that, but yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
What do you think? What do you think of Charlo and Andrade? Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Andrade.
Andrade. What, you think Andrade outboxes him?
Yeah, I reckon Andrade will probably outbox him. Yeah, that's what I think.
What about Andrade and Golovkin?
I reckon Golovkin. Honestly, I still think Golovkin could win that. Well, I mean, we haven't seen Golovkin fight in ages. It's been a year. It's been more than a year. But, you know, he's got a different trainer. He's working on different things and everything. He looked good his last fight. But we'll see, you know. But that just proves how much I rate Golovkin because, you know, Golovkin, he's 39 now, and I still think he can beat these guys. In his prime, none of them wanted to fight him. No one wanted to fight Golovkin in his prime. No, then when he gets a bit older, they see a bit of, like, you know, flaws in him. They're like, oh, I want to fight him. Like, it's just, why didn't you want to fight him when he was in his prime, when he was at his best? I don't get it with these fighters sometimes.
Yeah, I'd agree. So the Brotherhood says that Charlo stops Andrade. Who knows? That's a good fight. I'd like to see it. I don't know if Charlo stops Andrade, but I'd like to see
if that happens, I'll be so hyped for that fight as well. Both undefeated, you know,
Americans.
Both in their prime, an American. It's a huge fight in America. Why isn't that fight happening? Like, why isn't it happening?
It's a shame.
Why does what I don't get here is with the fans as well. when you say it, they're like, well, why do you want him to fight Golovkin? You don't want him to fight Golovkin because you know he will lose. No, I just want to see two guys in their prime fight. I'm not. I don't want to just see them constantly call out a 39-year-old, but not like fight. Like it just makes no sense.
Yeah, I think you're right there. To be honest, I think they should be. I think they should be fighting one another without question. They should be
they're
fighting.
fighters. They're supposed to be doing their job. Getting the best fights they can. A lot of fights talk about legacy, but they don't actually mean it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. So 175. So 175 is a dangerous for smaller guys. Yeah, Charlo is a cherry pick for Canelo or Benavidez. They invest. So okay, how's it going, Ash? Canelo more patient. So the Brotherhood says Canelo couldn't even drop Jacobs. Even Pillow Fist Mora dropped Jacobs. But Jacobs was, he was in a good. I don't know how long ago that Sergio Mora fight was, but when Canelo fought Jacobs was at the top of his game.
Yeah, he was.
He was at the top of his game.
And I mean, didn't Charlo get rocked by Montiel? I swear, Montiel rocked him a little.
He did.
He just caught him. Charlo got rocked a little. It doesn't. This don't mean anything. I could. If you probably gave me time, I could probably name a few like that. When that fight got dropped, then he fought this fight, and then he did, and then he won it. These things happen. They're learning curves. I mean, people give Jacobs shit because he got dropped by because he got knocked out cold by Pirog. We don't know how good Pirog was going to be. Him and Golovkin were supposed to fight, and then obviously Pirog had that career-ending injury or whatever happened. So we don't know these things.
So Beterbiev has unfinished. What do you make of Beterbiev? He's fighting Marcus Brown. How do you see that one going? Marcus Brown's a good fighter.
Honestly, I see Beterbiev doing a number on him, man. Honestly, I do. I know Marcus Brown. He's a good fighter, but I just see some flaws in him that I think Beterbiev's just gonna, I think Beterbiev's gonna pummel him, man. How I saw how he beat Gvozdyk. And Gvozdyk, I thought he was the best in his division. I read Gvozdyk so high. Obviously he was with Loma Usyk. He was a real deal, and then I'm just seeing how Beterbiev beat it, man. Yeah, I don't see anyone being Beterbiev in that division unless age catches up to him, and he's quite old now. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So, Sign Cutter says Beterbiev won't do anything for Alvarez. Alvarez fights him in 2022. Alvarez will be accused of fighting an old Beterbiev. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's true. He will. Yeah, he will.
Who do you think wins that fight, by the way? Beterbiev or Canelo?
Yeah, Beterbiev, yeah.
You think Beterbiev wins?
Yeah, as I've always said, yeah, Beterbiev, he's too strong for Canelo. He's way too strong for him. Yeah.
I personally think Canelo wins that fight, but I want to see it. I think it's a good fight.
With this, Canelo can only fight one fight at a time. Canelo has to fight all these guys. It would make it so much easier if Charlo and Benavidez fought and then Canelo fights the winner. Then after that, we don't need to see. Well, let's say Benavidez beats Charlo. Canelo fights Benavidez. We won't be asking for Canelo to fight Charlo. We'll be asking to fight Beterbiev. Then that can happen at the end of the year. It just makes things. It just makes things quicker if those top guys fight each other, and then we'll see who's the best out of those guys, and then Canelo will fight them. But why can't that happen? Why can't Bivol fight Beterbiev? Why can't Charlo fight Andrade? It just makes things quicker because after Canelo beats that guy, they want him to fight him, and then that guy. It makes no sense.
What's your prediction for tonight's fights? Benavidez. So you've got Benavidez stopping Davis. Munguia Rosado. How do you see that one going?
I see Munguia on points.
Yeah.
Wait. Rosado, he has gone a lot better. You can see in his last.
I think Munguia stops him late, to be honest.
I'm gonna go with Munguia decision there.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a good
Yeah.
good pick that, because I definitely think that Munguia will win, because I think Munguia is the star. I don't think Brazado is going to get the decision if it's close. And I do think Munguia. I think Munguia might just stop him late. I think the referee jumps in and probably stops it. But we'll
Maybe,
see.
yeah. Maybe.
We'll see. Janemba says that was Nez that was saying before the plant fight, and we all saw what happened. Benavidez v Bivol will make a superstar winner. So Benavidez v Bivol. How do you see that fight?
Bivol.
Yeah,
I think Bivol. Yeah, Bivol's a really good fighter, man. You know, he's not just going to be a punching bag for Benavidez. No, Bivol, he's got the feet, speed, and everything. He can box. He can use his range. You know, yeah, I think he'll be too much for.
You think he
Benavidez?
Beats? You think he beats him? Do you think Canelo beats Bivol?
At 168, yes, but at 175, no.
Fair enough. Let's go and answer some of these. Okay, so Imran, which fight do you think is more likely to happen? Canelo v GGG or Canelo v Ward? What do you think?
Oh, Golovkin. Ward's never coming out of retirement.
You don't think?
Ward never will.
For 30 million?
Still, no. I still don't think he's going to risk it. You know, Ward definitely not going to lose, try and, risk himself against Canelo, by the way. You know, after like 4 or 5 years out of the ring, definitely not. Yeah, no, I don't think Ward will risk it, or even for 30 million.
Fair enough. What about Golovkin? Do you think that fight happens? Because Eddie Hearn says that's the biggest fight out there for Canelo. Do you think that fight happens?
I think, it's always a big fight, but I think Hearn's trying to get Canelo to fight Golovkin so Hearn can promote it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. You know, because Canelo's with PBC now, so it's obviously good. There's the Benavidez fight, Charlo, and then obviously Renault. So he has mentioned Bivol and Beterbiev, so they might move up after that. But I think Golovkin might retire after the Murata fight. You know, there's a reason why he only fought once this year, and it's in Japan, and it's a huge fight where he's going to get a lot of money. You know, I think he's just going to cash out now on this. I mean, he has every right to. You know, Golovkin in his prime, he tried to fight everyone. He even gave fighters money out of his own purse to actually make them fight him. You know, Golovkin done it properly, but people don't give him respect because the fights did happen. But that's not his fault. It's not Golovkin's fault at all.
So you know what? In my opinion, I reckon Canelo and Al Heyman, right? I reckon Canelo, with the numbers that they did on pay-per-view, I won't be surprised if Canelo does a lot of fights with Al Heyman now. Because think about it, 800,000 pay-per-view buys, that's a serious amount of money there. And Canelo may see if I fight Benavidez, I could do over 1 million pay-per-view buys where I could make 50 million, 60 million. Who knows?
Yeah. So Canelo's even said good things about Al Heyman. He said he's really enjoyed working with him. Espinosa, said they're gonna be working towards him. He's named, Canelo. We're gonna be seeing good fights from Canelo, with Benavidez and all that. And I can't wait.
Yeah. What about Charlo? I think that fight's realistic as well. I think I reckon it's probably going to be Charlo or Benavidez next. I reckon he might do another fight with. That's why I think Eddie Hearn's trying to lure him to the zone, because Eddie Hearn wants to promote. I think Eddie Hearn's the guy that wants to promote, Golovkin Canelo, because that would be huge.
Yeah, Eddie just wants Canelo, the money and all that. Every promoter does, but Canelo's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants, but he's sticking with PBC. That I think they've even said it as well. But the fight I really think they're trying to get after what they're probably going to try and build up is Canelo versus Spence. They're probably going to try and make that Canelo Spence is a huge fight. That's a huge fight.
We've got to give this a bit of air. Crawford v. Sean Porter. That is a monster fight. That is a great fight.
When is it?
Next week.
That's next week. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 20th November.
Jesus, that's went quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, we have to
yeah,
give that airtime. That is a monster fight. Let's be honest. That is a huge
I
fight.
absolutely love that fight, and I feel we finally seen someone who really believes they're going to win, who really believes they're going to beat Crawford. He's bringing all the heat to him as well, like in the press conferences and everything. Like I'm loving Paul's confidence, his mentality, and everything. It's going to be such a good fight. I don't see Crawford obliterating him. That's going to be a good fight, man. That's going to be a really good fight. I can't wait.
Do you think Crawford? I personally got Crawford stopping Porter, but
he definitely could.
Yeah, but Porter's saying he's gonna knock Crawford out. What do you make of that?
This is what I'm loving it. Porter, he's been talking about that a lot as well. He's saying he's training to knock Crawford out. Maybe he sees things in Crawford that we don't. I mean, he's the professional. We're not. So he could see other things. But Crawford, he's very accurate, man. He'll be on his back foot. He knows how to fight on the back foot. Obviously, as I said, he's very precise and everything. So he definitely can put Porter down. He could stop him, but Porter could also stop Crawford. We've seen Crawford get rocked by little Gamboa. Kavalaskis. We have seen this, and Porter gets on. Porter gets on to you and everything. He's so tricky, man.
You know what? I want to ask you, if Crawford does dominate and beat up Sean Porter, where does that place him pound for pound? Because you know what? Whole Diaz was saying he believes Crawford's the best fighter in the world. He goes, this guy's skills is off the charts. He's such a great fighter. Where if he dominates and destroys him, knocks Porter out, where does that place him pound for pound? Because Porter's a credible guy. No one after this fight could say that Crawford is not Crawford's not an elite fighter or he's not fought anybody if he dismantles Porter, right?
If Crawford does a number on Porter, just dominates him, beats him better than anybody else did, that would be huge for Crawford. Like that will just prove that he was the best welterweight the whole time, but we just didn't know because we didn't really see him fight anyone that good, and it'll send a message to Spence and Ugas, who's already fought Porter. So it'll do big things, but for pound, obviously Crawford, he's a freeweight champ, undisputed. He gets a good win over Porter. Yeah, he'll probably be 2 or 3. So he definitely won't be number 1.
I reckon it's between him, Canelo, and Usyk. Obviously, Canelo's number 1. I've got Usyk number 2, and I got Crawford number 3. But if Crawford does destroy Porter, would you put him above Usyk?
No, I think I'll put him number 3. I'll put him number 3. Yeah.
What about if Crawford becomes undisputed at welterweight?
Then yeah, but
would you even put him ahead of Canelo?
If Crawford, this goes and how you gotta look at it though? If Crawford goes and beats Ugas and Spence, becomes undisputed. Yeah, that's big. But around that time, Canelo would probably have beaten Benavidez and Charlo. Huge names. Like it's tough, man. You still probably have to put Canelo in because it's what he's done even in the past. He's beaten Lara, Cotto, Golovkin, Jacobs. So many huge names. So I'd still probably have Canelo. And then around that time, Usyk could have been Tyson Fury, maybe. Like there's so many big things that will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Usyk can beat Fury though?
Yes, definitely. People were saying that he will lose to Fury because Fury's too big. I mean, he was too big. Joshua was too big, but he beat him. Fury is awkward, but Usyk can definitely win that fight. I'm picking Usyk to win that fight.
You're picking him?
I'm actually going to pick Usyk to win that fight. I picked him to beat Joshua, and I'm picking him to beat Fury as well. That's how confident I am. I really rate Usyk.
Yeah, he's a great fighter. He battered Joshua, didn't he? He actually took him apart, didn't he, Makai?
Yeah, he done a number, and then he even rocked him.
Yeah.
He rocked him a few times and everything. It kind of went how we both called it. I think, Imran.
Yeah.
I think we both, but he just didn't stop him. So I think I picked him to stop him late. I don't know what you said.
He almost
he almost did. That's the thing. What did you say? Was it decision or was it a stoppage as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been a surprise if he stopped him late, but I thought he'd beat him on points.
Yeah.
But he was very close to stopping him, though.
Very close, isn't it? And then the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Apparently they rung the bell a bit earlier.
Yeah, they say that, but then Eddie Hearn said no, that's nonsense.
Because it was on the zone, like different clocks and everything.
Yeah. So I don't know how much. I don't know how true that is, to be honest. Yeah. So let's get Ahmed on. Ahmed, what's going on? You all right?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. We're just
Michael,
talking.
alright as well.
Hey?
Said the other fellow okay as well. You alright?
Yeah, Mackay.
Mackay. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, man? I'm good, man. Thanks.
We're talking about Crawford and Porter.
That's it, man. Big fight coming up.
How do you see that one going?
I see Crawford. I'll tell you what's going to happen. You know, when Crawford fought Amir Khan, and Amir Khan, and people said Amir Khan starts fast, so Crawford will give up a few rounds early on.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the case, was it? And basically, same thing's going to happen here, where Porter only knows one way how to fight, and I think Crawford will take charge from right from the off, and after a couple of rounds, he'll gain control of the fight proper, and I think he'll knock him out whenever he wants to. To be honest with you, after 4 rounds, I think he'll knock him out.
What you think? 4 rounds?
No, not 4 rounds. After 4 rounds, anytime. 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, 8th round.
Yeah. I actually agree. I think Crawford will stop Porter for some reason. I just get the feeling that Crawford is something else. In my opinion, I don't think he's too skilled. I think he's so skilled. He fights out of both stances. Ahmed, I know you've been high on Crawford, but I think he will stop him probably late on, 10, 11 rounds.
Yeah, definitely. Does Mackay agree on that?
Mackay's not sure. He says it's a very great fight. It's a close fight. He doesn't know. Mackay, what's your take again?
Obviously, I am picking Crawford.
Yeah.
But I said Crawford can definitely. I'm confident. I'm very confident Crawford can put Porter down. I don't know if he can, finish him. I really don't know. But Crawford, he's very accurate and everything. We saw it in the Horn fight. Horn was just lunging in, and he was just getting popped every time. Crawford's very precise. He's got good time and everything. And he can fight on the back foot. He's also very athletic, like Porter. So, man, I can't wait for this fight, though. I can't wait.
Yeah. What would you? So if Crawford does beat Porter, what do you want to see next?
I want Spence to step up to the plate, man, and sign the fight.
Yeah,
I really like the Ugas fight.
The Ugas fight?
Yeah, Crawford versus Ugas. I really like that fight.
I think Crawford will be too much for him. I mean, I think Spence is the fight what people are calling for. I think Spence should make the people happy and sign it.
Yeah,
you hear me, Imran?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's the fight that I think people want to see. Crawford v Spence. It's a good fight. It's a big fight, to be honest. It's the fight that we all want to see. I think it's a good fight. But guys, I wanna ask you, if Crawford beats Porter in emphatic fashion, would you all agree that he's the best welterweight in the world? Would you put him at number 1 in the welterweight division?
110%, yes. If he beats Porter and stops him, beats him in good fashion, there's no doubt there's no doubt he's number one. No, we all at Crawford. Yeah, he's fought the best guys he could in the lower divisions. You know, he's undisputed. So he's already got that good claim, but we just haven't seen a credible win at welterweight. And after we see that, like Crawford can get like really hyped up again and everything. We just haven't seen him fight a good name in ages. So you know he's kind of died down a little. But after he beats Porter, yeah, no doubt.
How do you see that going, Ash? How do you see Crawford and Porter going?
Oh, it's a good fight, that is. I'm looking forward to that. It's this weekend, isn't it?
Next week,
For me, yeah, I think it's gonna be on points. I think Crawford wins on points. I think Sean Porter has shown in his previous fights that he ain't gonna be bullied in any way. The only thing I think Crawford can get him is because he's sharpshooter, and he's really sharp. So if he catches him early, but then going back to your question, that does he make him the best welterweight? It doesn't, because you're only the best welterweight until you're in there with everyone. You can't just beat one guy and say, oh, because as you know, stars make fights, so you can't beat one guy and say, oh, because you beat him, he's a tough guy, and now you're the best welterweight. He still has to fight the guys that got the belts. So even if he beats Sean Porter in good fashion, it's the Sean Porter that's older. The Sean Porter has been in some wars. It's a Sean Porter that's just come from a war with Errol Spence. And you know yourself, every fight takes something from you. So he has lost a few things coming into this fight. But we're not going to find out unless Crawford shows us. You understand? So I still think it's going to be a tight one. I think Crawford will win, but it'll be points. And it doesn't prove that he's the best. Unless he knocks him,
if he beats
really early.
Go on, Mackay.
Yeah, if he does beat Porter in good fashion, I will put him at number one. But it doesn't mean he's actually, you know, the best welterweight, because he still does need to beat, you know, Ugas and Spence.
Yeah.
But it's just, if he does do that, you just have to put him. It's a bit like with, you know, some people, like with Canelo at super middle, you know, they still feel he hasn't beat the best guy in the division, which is Benavidez. You know, a lot of people rate Benavidez
Back to Crawford,
more
what I mean
highly
is,
than, you know,
if he beats Porter, yes, but you got to remember, Imran, the guys that are left in the welterweight division are getting older, and Errol Spence has had a bad injury, so he could not be the same guy. So we don't know until he's back, and if he's still the same guy. And the guys that have got the belts, who else has got a belt? Errol Spence got two, and he's got one, and he's an older guy as well. So you know, even if he beats them guys, to put him as he's a great fighter, he's still got to go. For me, he's still got to go up a level. He's still got to go up to 154, because the guys he's fighting now, they're coming out of their prime in a way. Like they're a couple of fights out of their prime now. Come on, 2 more fights and they'll be at their prime. Because you got Crawford at 34, Spence is 31, around there, and the rest of them, I'm sure Sean Porter is like 30 odd. There's no one at 28, 27, 28.
But Ash, if Crawford cleans out the welterweight division, he definitely goes down as a great. I don't think you
broke up. What did you say? Sorry.
I said if Crawford cleans out the welterweight division and beats everybody, I don't think you have to say he is a great. You have to say that he's great. Like he would go down as a great if he beats everybody in the welterweight division. Some really good welterweight fighters.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is these welterweight fighters, but they're not. Okay, you can say yes, they're in their prime in a way. Crawford is like still unbeaten. But what I'm saying is that's not a Crawford that's 30, 29. You know, say like, you know, a fighter that's just is like 28 or 29 in the prime, and he's gonna beat 3, 4. Then you can say he's a legend. He's really great as a welterweight. Because end of the day, if he goes and beats now Errol Spence next year, people will still say, look, he come off an injury. He's not the same guy. You know what I mean? He's older. You know, there's always going to be excuses. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Ash, what if Crawford knocks Porter out in 6-7 rounds?
Come on, Ahmed. How long have you been watching boxing?
Don't worry. It's only a week away. We'll find
Anyone
out.
on here will agree with you on that.
But what if he actually does?
I think Crawford stops Porter late, personally.
Oh, you think he stops him late?
Yeah, very late, like
What?
round 11.
I don't agree with that because Porter gets stronger as he goes on. He doesn't get tired.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
He's
but
very fit. But you know what? I think his style will play into Crawford's hands. You know, like you said, Ash, you said yourself that Crawford's a sharpshooter. I think Crawford's going to catch him with something and hurt him. Because Crawford's wild, Ash. He's really wild. And I just think with the guys that he's fought were slow, like Thurman, Spence. These aren't fast guys. Crawford's a guy moving up. He's very fast. So I think he's going to have problems, Ash. I do. I think I think Porter's going to have a lot of trouble with that style because I think he's going to fight someone who's really fast of feet and fast of hands. So I do think Crawford will stop him late.
I mean, we kind of saw it in the Spence fight, you know, Porter.
Yeah.
He moved in and Spence just got him when Porter moved in. He just put him down. You know, and Crawford, he's a lot more better at countering. He's a lot more faster, and he's just so much more accurate. So it's not. It's not. I won't be surprised if Crawford puts him down. But if he does actually like proper stop him, I'll be like, oh, okay, that will be you know, Porter's tough, man.
I also think Porter will struggle to land punches on Crawford.
I think he'll be able to land on Crawford quite easily. To be honest, I don't think Crawford's got that good defense really. You know, he's good on his feet and everything, but I don't think he's really that hard to get to hit. It's just Crawford will come back at him and possibly put him down.
A question for you guys. Who wins? I'll ask you three. Makai, you first. Crawford v. Mayweather. Who would you pick in that fight?
Mayweather, no doubt.
Mayweather.
Yeah,
on
no
points?
Doubt. Yeah, on points. Yeah, on points.
Ahmed?
I put Mayweather favourite, but we'll see what Crawford's got left in his career, what he does.
Ash, Crawford v. Mayweather. How would you see that one go? Ash? I don't know where Ash. What about? Let me name some fighters and let me see what you guys think.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. Crawford
Yeah. I said what weight you talking?
147.
147. Mayweather beats him. Then again, it'd be for me. I think Crawford. The tough one, you know why? Because Crawford's really rangy. He's got long arms.
Yeah.
For a guy that's 5'8", he's got like 74-inch arm range. But this is what people don't realize when they get in the ring with him. This is what Amir Khan didn't realize when he got in there. He thought, I'm quick, I'll get in there. But when he realized that Crawford's so sharp and he's so long, you can't get in there unless, you know what I mean? You can't get in there. And his foot was so good. So I don't know how long Mayweather's arms are though. What's his reach?
I mean, he's got decent sized reach, Mayweather, as well. But I don't think it's as long as Crawford.
I think Mayweather. It depends on the
tactic. Just way too smart, though, man.
I think Mayweather will beat him because Mayweather will fight on the back foot to make Crawford come forward, and he'll counter him.
Mayweather's got a 72-inch reach.
Yeah, so it's only a couple of inches. Mayweather would beat him.
Yeah. So, what about guys? I'm gonna ask you this: Charlo. So Crawford beats Charlo at 154. Makai.
Charlo, man, you know, I'd go with Charlie. You know, I think he's just a bit too strong. You know, we do see Crawford get cracked, man. Charlo, he's strong. He's very strong.
What do you think? Ahmed?
Why is my phone so low?
I think I put it as a 50-50 fight. I've won 54.
Yeah, it's a good fight, man. But it's just the size. It's just the size, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the size. If it was the same size, oh my God, Crawford would pummel him, man.
Yeah.
Charlo's not really that much of a good boxer.
Jamel Charlo at
154.
Charlo's not his level, man. Charlo's got power, but he's got nowhere near the skill level as a Crawford.
But don't you think the size would play a big difference in that fight if Charlo cracks him?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but what you got to remember is he's a bigger guy, yeah? He's 154, so he'll come in, 165, 160, some 65, say. Crawford won't be in that big. But Crawford's educated, his IQ is much better than his. The guy lost to Charlo. Got lost to an average fight, not a top fighter recently, didn't he? And then he had to do a rematch or something. I'm sure it was.
Harrison.
Sure.
He lost to Harrison.
That's it, Harrison. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a crap fighter, Harrison, but he's not a Crawford.
Yeah.
But back to your weight, I know what you're saying weight-wise. Yeah, it may be too much for him, but I think Crawford said he would fight at 154. So if he fancies himself going up there, then I think Crawford will do him.
What about Golovkin? Golovkin and Bernard Hopkins in Bernard's prime. What do you think, Mackay?
Sorry, what was the fighters?
Golovkin and Bernard Hopkins.
Golovkin. Yeah, Golovkin.
Ahmed?
I've got Hopkins on that one.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Ash, what do you think?
Prime Golovkin was the prime Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
I fancy Golovkin, to be honest.
Yeah. What?
Golovkin, the way Golovkin. Okay, these guys both said Bernard Hopkins. Am I right? Mackay said Bernard Hopkins.
Ahmed said Bernard Hopkins.
Ahmed said Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
But name me one fighter Bernard Hopkins fought that had that power and that ferociousness.
And he could box that good as well, man. He could
box really good. Bernard Hopkins was a good fighter, and he could take a punch, and he's very tough.
Who? Bernard Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he can because didn't he get knocked out his last fight at the ring from that guy?
And how old is he?
50,
well, that's one choice to go in there. Chin doesn't change. It doesn't mean how old you are. Your chin's not going to get weaker, is it?
Of course, your legs get weak.
Yeah. I think Hopkins would have been difficult. Like I don't know, man.
You're judging a 50, nearly 60-year-old man, and you're saying just because he got knocked out, he's got weak chin or something.
What do you say, man? I mean, Ahmed, you're talking about a 50-year-old man that chose to go in the ring and fight. You're not saying someone forced him to go in there. He felt he had a chin. He went in there, and he didn't have a chin, did he? If he had a chin, he would have still had it.
It wasn't his chin; it was his legs that went.
But where did he get punched on his legs or his chin?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the strength in the legs. There's no.
Okay, jokes aside, what I'm trying to say is basically his chin was good, but you're comparing him like to have a chin like Canelo. He didn't have a chin like Canelo.
Come on, man. Canelo, if someone like Benavidez cracks Canelo, he'll be on the floor.
Oh, no one can crack Canelo, mate. Triple G cracked him, nothing happened.
Yeah, but if you go to cruiserweight and someone like Benavidez cracks him,
yeah, but this is your hypothetical talking now, and going up cruiserweight, you can go up to heavyweight. Of course, someone's gonna hit him heavyweight and knock him out, isn't it? We're talking about the weight class you're fighting in. No one can touch him. He went up talking Canelo. He went up to fight Golovkin's a guy who's beating guys up, breaking their faces. And what happened? And he couldn't do nothing. Golovkin hit him, and his chin, he just blinked. So Golovkin,
but Canelo is not like he separated himself from Golovkin. It was a close fight.
He's a smaller guy.
It's not like he separated himself.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to separate himself as much. He's a smaller guy. He's coming up a weight. He's challenging himself.
Yeah. So is Crawford against Spence then?
Not really. What do you mean?
You're just saying Canelo's moving up. Well,
you're talking about the chin, right? You said the chin because he's coming up and blah, blah, blah. You're saying because his chin's not that good. I'm saying he's fighting a bigger guy. It's harder. And you're comparing Bernard Hopkins' chin, saying is that good, but his chin's not that good. He's been hurt. Has Bernard Hopkins been hurt in his career? Has Bernard Hopkins been hurt in his career? In his prime, whenever? I'm sure he's been hurt. Yeah. So when you're trying to compare him to Canelo, he's never been hurt, bro.
Yeah, but look at the age of Bernard Hopkins. He was fighting later on in his career. When Canelo reaches 40, would you put him in with somebody like Benavidez at that age?
To be fair to Bernard Hopkins has only been stopped one time in his whole career, and that that was his last fight, against Smith. So, Bernard Hopkins is a very tough guy. He's only been stopped once, and that was when he was 50. So
I mean, he fought some top competition at light heavyweight. Bernard Hopkins himself was a middleweight. Fought some top competition at light heavyweight.
Ash, you're cutting off. Ash, where's he gone? Where's Ash gone? Oh man. Anyway, Ahmed, man, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna cut it off, but yeah, you know, I'll do another live stream tomorrow because of the fights. This thing, I'm gonna watch the Galahad fight, and then I'll probably do a review on that. But Ahmed, man, thanks for coming on. Makai, thanks for coming on. Ash, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you guys.
No worries, man. Take care.
Take care, man. Take care, everyone. Chat. Thanks to everybody in the chat. The Brotherhood, Calypso, Rock Venture, Blitzbane, Kevin McClellan, DHP Jr., Jose Garza. Thank you. First time Canelo hit the canvas slip was GGG2. No one else has done that to Canelo. GG in his prime destroys prime Canelo, in my opinion. Fair enough, Jose Garza. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. We will do another live stream tomorrow to review the action, to review the fights. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Make sure to smash the like button for me as well, guys.